Overthinking feels like being trapped in your own head. It's that endless loop of what ifs, analyzing every detail, replaying every mistake, obsessing about the future, making up narratives that will never happen, or trying to predict every possible outcome. It gives you the illusion that you're doing something productive. But the truth? Overthinking is just mental paralysis and it keeps you busy without moving forward at all. Here's what's really happening within you. When you overthink, your nervous system is stuck in a survival response. So your brain believes that by thinking harder or longer and deeper about a problem, you will somehow guarantee safety. It's like your subconscious thinks, if I just figure it all out, if I just prepare for every possible outcome, then nothing can hurt me. But what actually happens is you exhaust your energy. You drain your confidence because you're not confident if you overthink, and you kill your ability to take aligned action. You're just procrastinating and wasting your time and potential. Overthinking is basically the mind's addiction to control, right? It's one of the biggest blocks to peace that you can have and to creativity and to manifestation. And the truth about overthinking is it doesn't prevent mistakes, it creates them. It doesn't give you clarity like you think it does, it just clouds it. It also doesn't keep you safe like you think it does, it keeps you stuck. And it's not wisdom and being smart and intelligent of thinking from different perspectives. It's just fear disguised as preparation and procrastination. When you're overthinking, you're not actually living, you're just existing. You're just rehearsing for what ifs. You're running simulations in your head while life just passes by. So let's talk about the science of overthinking because it's very, very interesting when it comes to that. Your brain is wired to seek certainty, right? It hates the unknown. You feel uncomfortable in the unknown, which is normal because it's unfamiliar, because uncertainty feels like danger. Overthinking is your brain's way of trying to solve that uncertainty by running every possible scenario. But here's the catch, your brain cannot solve the future, it only knows the present. So every loop of overthinking is just wasted energy because the only place that you have power is right here, right now, within you. Neuroscience shows that repeated thought loops actually strengthen neural pathways. And the more you overthink, the easier it becomes for your brain to default to that pattern. Overthinking literally wires your brain into anxiety. So while you think you're being smart, no, you're not. The opposite is what happens. That's why it feels so hard to stop. Your brain thinks it's helping you survive, right? You're in fight or flight 24/7. That's not healthy. That's not normal. It's not even realizing that it is completely spiraling and putting you in a stress state 24/7. So how do you alchemize it? First, you have to interrupt that loop. The moment you notice yourself spiraling, for whatever reason, you need to break that pattern. When you notice your thoughts overthinking again, stand up, shake your body, say out loud, stop, not helpful, just stop it. Just interrupt it. Think of something else. This interrupts the loop and gives your nervous system a jolt out of autopilot. You can even kind of punish yourself in a healthy way by doing push ups or sit ups or any other kind of exercise every time you catch yourself, right? Don't slap yourself. Do something productive and healthy that's actually gonna shift you for the better, right? So you interrupt the loop and become sexy at the same time. That's even better. Anchor back into the present. So when you interrupt it, you need to anchor yourself back into the present moment instead of continuing after the interruption, right? So ask yourself, what is true right now? What do I actually know? What is actually happening in this exact moment? Or when you're thinking about a scenario or making up a narrative concerning a conflict or whatever your situation is, get clear on what the actual truth is. What are you telling yourself? And what are the actual facts? Often, the scenarios you're running in your head aren't even real, but they are just imaginary projections, but your subconscious, your conscious and your conscious mind are so convincing that you forget what is real and what actually happened, what the actual facts are, what actually the situation is. So bring yourself back into your body through breath work. Feel your feet on the ground. The present moment is always safe because that's the only moment that's happening. Set boundaries with your mind. Give yourself a time limit. If you need to think about something, set a timer for 5 to 10 minutes and journal it out. After the timer ends, you commit to making a decision or moving on. Either or. Overthinking thrives in endless time, right? Because you don't stop yourself. It just goes on and on and on and on. And you're going from one thought to another, from one thought to another, from one thought to another. Cut it off. Set boundaries. That's how you build self-respect, by the way. That's how you build self-security, self-confidence. Because how are you supposed to set boundaries with other people if you cannot set them within here, in your own mind? When you've done that, you need to shift from thinking to acting, right? Not just empty words, not just empty promises again. Action dissolves overthinking. So make a small move toward the thing that you're looping on. Send the email, have the conversation, start the project. You'll know whatever it is, launch the business. Whatever it is, if you move from fear, you need to move through fear. You'll notice that the moment you act, the mental storm, that turmoil within you, that spiraling, it quiets down. Because your brain now has real data instead of endless speculation and made up narratives. Then you also need to trust the unknown. So overthinking is always rooted in the fear of the unknown. Like I just said, if you move because of the fear. The antidote to fear is faith. Faith in yourself, faith in your ability to handle whatever comes, faith that the unknown is not danger but possibility. It's not that it's dangerous, it's just that you don't know it yet. You're uncertain, it's uncertainty. It's not familiar to you yet. So you just need to regulate your nervous system in that moment. I don't need to know the whole path. I only need to take the next step. That's all you need to focus on. Remember your bigger goal, but don't let yourself get distracted just because of fear. Move with fear and through fear, not because of it. And here's what I really want you to hear when it comes to this video about overthinking. Overthinking is not a sign of intelligence. It's a sign of fear. Stop telling yourself you're becoming emotionally intelligent because you're thinking of every scenario and every perspective and all the things. Smart people don't overthink more. They've simply learned how to channel their thoughts into specific actions instead of rumination. You don't need every answer before you move. That's not how reality works. You also don't need to predict every outcome before you decide. If you really were confident within yourself and really trusted yourself, you wouldn't even bother. You don't need to have it all figured out to be worthy of taking up space. If you allow it, overthinking will steal years of your life. Believe me, I've been there. I'm one of the culprits of that. It will keep you analyzing instead of living. It will keep you preparing and procrastinating instead of actually creating. Believe me, I've been there. I've done that. I started my business 2 to 3 years late because of it. It will keep you doubting instead of becoming. Believe me, I've been there. I've done it. That's why I went through so many friendship wounds, through so many betrayals, through so much people pleasing for myself. Because I always doubted. That's why I never took action. That's why I always did what pleased everyone but me. That's why I always stayed in these toxic situations in my love life. But once I stopped, all of that shifted. I lost those fake friends. I am in a healthy, unconditional, loving relationship. I've been for multiple years now. I have good family dynamics. I made my manifestations real and moved abroad and started my business and am following my purpose. So the next time you catch yourself spiraling in your head, I want you to stop and remind yourself of the truth that your power is not in your thoughts, it's in your actions, it's in who you are being. Your power is in the present. Your power is in your frequency, your vibration, your subconscious beliefs. Because life doesn't reward the best thinkers, life rewards the ones who move and who are being.